All right. Oh, there we go. And there we go. I had a little time. Okay. Here we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. And now we have actual power. How nice. All right. I think I can't even get rid of that either. Okay, so we got the show started kicking off here now. We actually have sound. A little problem with the mute button, which isn't super apparent. And for some reason it was depressed, but now we're back. We're live. We're going. We're going to talk some. Let's check here. We're going to talk some. Oh, yeah, we are live. We're going. Okay, cool. Hopefully, get a couple viewers on Kick. But yeah, welcome everybody. We're going to talk some Algorand. We're going to talk Sui Network, and we're going to talk Hedera. We're going to look at the markets and all that. Plus, I got a whole bunch of news items to talk about. So we're going to do that. If you are new to the channel, if you want to hit that like and subscribe button, I appreciate that. Remember, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. Works just fine that way too. And we're brought to you by non-fungible domains, which is the best way to get that .algo address if you want to. Mine is frugalbc.algo, and a lot easier to remember than all those letters and numbers. So we're very thankful for non-fungible domains' continued support. So give them a check out in the description below. But I don't want to waste a lot of time. We do have channel memberships too, where you can get videos way before anyone else. Well, I shouldn't say way before. It kind of depends. Usually the night before, or within a few hours. And that's only $1. So you can be a channel member for $1. But enough of my blathering. Let's just look at the markets and let's get right into it, because I think this is really interesting. So as you can see, if you look at this fear and greed index, we are in fear territory, and that's kind of new from last week. Even last week, even when things were crashing, we were still kind of on the really low end of neutral. That yellow mark is neutral. But once we're in the orange, we are actually officially in fear territory, and that's because a lot of stuff is falling. Now, over the last day, actually, the crypto market's actually gone up as a whole a little bit, which is nice. But the main thing I think is driving this is Bitcoin. We see Bitcoin down 10%, and that's not great. No one's happy seeing Bitcoin at 56, but I did buy in. Gosh, it was like low 56 or high 58, 50 or high 55, something like that. So I definitely saw it as a buying opportunity. Let's just look at who's doing well and who's not. So here's the few that are actually doing kind of okay compared to the rest of the market. We got Notcoin. By the way, how's that sound, everybody? Let me know. And say hi in the chat. If you're on Kick, say hi. I would love, I've never gotten a comment on Kick. So if for people who are watching on Kick or Rumble, I don't even know where those videos go. I connected Rumble, I think. I think it's always good to have multiple platforms just in case. But yeah, leave me a comment. It's always good to say hi. We got someone in the comments right now. That is Jason Cowway. Welcome to the channel, Jason. Haven't seen you before. Welcome to the show. This is loud and clear. Appreciate that. Yeah, we had a little technical difficulties in the beginning, but we're back. We're running. A darn mute button on this. I love this mic, but the one thing I don't like is the mute button, which is really easy to accidentally press. Anyway, Nutcoin leading the pack at 17% up on the week, and that's 13% up on the day. That's something else. And these are the handful of exceptions. We got Multiverse Eagle, Multiverse X Eagle is up 13%. That's at 8%, 8.5% up on the 24-hour. Mantra do 11.6. Celestia, which I actually thought was a Cosmos coin, but it's not. It's a totally separate thing. Apparently, they make it really easy to make your own blockchain, which is kind of interesting. They're up 18% on the 24-hour, but they must have been down a lot because they're only 4% up. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for up. And if we click this again, we can see, yeah. So there's something called Brett based, which is like, by the way, a market cap is 64. This brand new this coin I haven't seen before today, and it's it's pretty close to Algorand's market cap. And it must have been higher because now it's been down 34% on the week, the most of any on the top 100, followed by Phantom down, Dog with Hat. So I was kind of thinking about this a little before the show started. If you want to build kind of a little meme coin bag as an experiment, this would probably be a good time to do it. I think I might do that if they stay down through the week, because all of them are pretty much down. Dog with Fat is down the most, but it seems like these frogs and dogs just tend to pump. So part of me, I get really annoyed by that stuff because I care about crypto projects that actually do something, that actually have some functionality. I think that's really important. And it's important for the industry to actually be taken seriously. I think when stuff like Dog with Hat climbs into the top 100, I just don't think a lot of people take it seriously. But, if you want to make a little money until that happens, might be a good time. Or there could be the end of meme coins, but I kind of doubt it. Conflux down 23. We got a lot of 20%ers. Immutable X. I actually played Immutable X. I played Gods Unchained on it. It worked pretty well, but most of the crypto functions didn't work because Ethereum was too expensive at the time. And then they switched over. I didn't play for a while. And when I came back, I had to do all these steps to connect a wallet. And one of them was like that classic paradox where it said you couldn't complete the step because you hadn't completed that step. It was like do X, and you try to do X, and it's like, you can't do this because you can't perform this action because you haven't done X. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. A lot of stuff in crypto works like this. This is what I get really, really frustrated in crypto. That's why I like Algorand, because Algorand seems to work generally better than a lot of this stuff. Ondo, I've seen that one before. That's into the top 50s now, or top 60. It's 56. That one's down 22%. Little Dow down 22%. Arweave down 21. Stacks down 21. Gala down 20. I think if we might have some people I don't normally talk with because I'm kind of at an unusual time here. But yeah, I really can't stand Gala. I think they've done some of the worst. It's just one of the worst companies I've seen. I think if this were a stock, a lot of people would be shorting Gala at this point. They're pretty much getting sued by everybody. The founders are suing each other. The leadership is suing each other. We just had Spider Tanks, which is one of their biggest games. It's one of their biggest games on there, and they're suing them. And they wrote this letter explaining all the things that went wrong with Gala, all the problems they had. So yeah, not a big fan of Gala. Jasmine Coin 20% down. Athena 19. Theta Network 19. Same with Core. Same with PayPay. Aptos. You notice we're not seeing Algorand. Here's Sui. Look at Sui. I think I'm way underwater on Sui right now. I didn't buy a lot of Sui, but the stuff what I do have, I'm kind of underwater right now. I think I bought around $1. And Floki, there's our other meme coin. So for a lot of crypto, it's probably, if you believe in the crypto, it's not a bad time to pump a little in. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, Near Protocol is down 15. Now Near Protocol has been one of the best ones of the mini bull. We saw Near Protocol was up, at one time about 5-6x from, well, at least from when I bought it, which was kind of around the bottom of the bear. Maybe not quite the bottom. Yeah, so you see we got a lot of red on here, and there's Hedera. It's crazy to think, wasn't Hedera up at like 18 cents? Let's take a look. This computer isn't the fastest in the world, so you have to hang with me, okay? If we look at a year, yeah, oh, about 16 cents, maybe. What? Yeah, about 16 cents. Oh, yeah, that's right. 16 cents. Yeah. That was the little BlackRock spike, which I still think is, I think people have made too big a deal of that. Like the people are like, there's various levels of a partnership. A partnership doesn't have to be super duper formal. I've got no money has to be exchanged for a partnership, by the way. In case people are wondering what I'm talking about. Hedera announced that they're having the first money market fund on, what was it? It was the first tokenization of a BlackRock fund, and BlackRock had to like provide some information for them to do it. So it was a synthetic, but they worked with them. They actually approved the press release, and then they came out and kind of pretended like they didn't know what was being said. Anyway, let's see where Algorand is at. Actually, let's just go to Vestige. I like that better for this anyway. I think you get an idea what's going on with the market. It's down. This is kind of the shakeout, I think, before we're going to see Bitcoin pop up, maybe in a month or two, and then we'll see everything else go after that. So maybe mid fall. Yeah, Algorand, we're sitting at 13.3 cents. We're up a little bit higher. We were up almost yesterday, up almost 14 cents at one point. Or was that it would have been Saturday actually. So it hasn't been hit. I mean, it looks bad, but it hasn't been hit nearly as bad as a lot of the alts for some reason. I'm not really sure why that is. Which is a change because, typically Algorand had been taking the hits worse than others and not taking the gains as well. So kind of nice to see a reversal of that. Let's look at the bowling. Let's put some indicators on here. And I'm trying to think. I think we were around here. When did I last stream? I was on the 4th. Yeah, so we were at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We had a really low RSI. And apparently we had to go a lot lower before we had to pump up, and it just didn't have a lot of sustaining power. So that's the thing with the stuff. Like, sometimes it kind of pays off, but it might not pay. It might not happen exactly the way you think it does. And in this case, like we really dropped below this 30 line here on the RSI on the strength index, and then we popped back up, which we did. That happened here too. So it's pretty common to see when you hit the bottom of the Bollinger Band and you have a really low RSI below 30, it's probably going to pop back up typically. But you could get fooled thinking, well, it should be, we're right here. It's pretty low. Are we going to pop up? So you just really never know. That's why you just got to I don't really do day trading on crypto. This is the only thing I've seen that kind of works, and it's kind of, it works, but it might not work in the way you hope. So I don't know how useful that is. As far as ASAs are going, let's just look down the chart and then we'll kind of go back up. Overall, on ASAs, that's Algorand standard assets for anyone new to Algorand or crypto. Chips, pumping up a bit, as is Polka Gold. The chips is the thing from the casino, and I had a little thing online because I said I don't promote gambling, so I'll talk about their token because it's in with the other tokens. That's fine. I just don't. I'm not going to bring them on the channel, and I'm not going to do videos on them just because I think I have to set some standards, and not gambling is one of my standards. No offense to them. They seem to be doing well. Probably one of the better running platforms on Algorand right now. It's got the most users, I think. Yeah, DeFi token. We have our video on our How to Algorand series where we have a breakdown between Para and DeFi. Which one should you choose? So I think people enjoyed that. I'm trying to make more content that's beginner friendly stuff. Like if you just either if you want to get into Algorand and you hadn't before, or you want something to show other people. I've been trying to make those videos. So if you want to go check out that playlist, you can. Yeah, Vestige down on the week, Opulus down on the week, and everything's kind of down on the 24-hour as well. Yeah, Pepe, we already know it's down. Coop actually doing pretty well. Gora is doing okay. Votecoin doing as well in the week. Actually, Pepe popped up a little in the day, and then Cometa rounding out the bottom. Popular is Rug Ninja, so we're going to talk about Rug Ninja. But here's some irony. Let's look at this. We'll talk about this project a little bit later because it's pretty interesting. But pretty much fell from day one. What are we on here? We're on a week. Yeah, let's go to. Remember how I told you guys what a typical ASA chart looks like, where it just kind of pops up, everyone gets really excited. Oh, let's sell it all off, and it comes back down. And that's going to make like this little boot. So what you're going to see is it's going to make this little boot here. Maybe it'll go up a little bit. I call it like it's like the stiletto boot. It goes up, down, and then kind of to the side. That's pretty typical ASA pattern. So I went, I don't think too highly. If you're going to buy an ASA, wait till that crash at least, then maybe you'll do okay. But I just think, don't waste your time. Algo ETF. And, this one kind of did the opposite. It went down, then up. Interesting. This one seems to be pretty new as well, isn't it? Did they tell you when it started? Oh, this has been around a while. Okay, hold on. Let's this is such a weird chart. I don't even know what to make of this. That doesn't look real. I'm just going to ignore it for now. Biggest gainers headline. Wow, look at that headline. I'll tell you guys, this is one of the most confusing projects in crypto. It seems like a company in search of a problem. Like it's like it doesn't actually know what it's. I still don't know what they're actually doing with this. It's changed multiple times. It doesn't make a ton of sense. Headline is like super weird. So coin seems to be doing okay. Let's go on a daily chart here just to zoom out. But overall, yeah, they just tend to crash. They might pop up for a little while, but they're so volatile. I'm just not a fan of. There's no pattern to follow. There's no like macro cycle that they follow. The ASAs are just like uncharted territory. So you could just get really lucky and have it really pop off. But I just don't trust them. What else we got? Viva token, outside global. That's a controversial project. Golden Billions. Doge Barb. I think that's from that Barb guy on Twitter. He's interesting, I guess. All right. Well, chat is really quiet today. Usually we've got tons of chat right now, but I'm kind of streaming at an unusual time, so I get it. Why don't we go over to, let's look at some news, huh? Maybe this will be a short stream, I'm not sure. All right, got some interesting Algorand news today, and the first one is the launch of something called Rug Ninja. What is that? Well, let's take a look. Because our good friend Michael Jordan is going to talk about it here. This is from Michael Jordan, otherwise known as @AlgoFamily on Twitter. He says, Rug Ninja launches in 4 hours on Algorand, rug.ninja. It's similar to pump.fun, but better, ? Without the MEV and thousands of ads. Meme coin season on Algo, powered by Vestige.fi, or Vestige.fi, Launchpad, meme coins. Do your own research before using or investing in crap coins. So we're going to explain it a little bit, but it's kind of like a launching platform. And the funny thing is there already was one, and I can't even remember what it was called, but it's like, it's just kind of went quiet. I haven't seen anything from it in a really long time. Yeah, why don't we go to Rug Ninja? Let's take a look at this. So I think the idea is, well, actually, they're going to explain it. There's a little question mark, so let's just see what they say. Okay, Rug.ninja. This is live now, by the way. You can go to it yourself. It's Rug.ninja. That's the website. Every coin on Rug.ninja is launched fairly. Every token has to be bought, even by those who launched them. The only force in effect is the market. Be quick, buy low, sell high. When tokens reach enough liquidity, they are deployed to Tinyman and their LP tokens are burned. That's kind of interesting. Once that happens, every buyer has a random lockup time between 1 hour and 12 hours. So I think they're trying to prevent the rug here. The idea is like you don't know which whether you're going to get the 1 hour or the 12 hour or somewhere in between. So you can't necessarily rug. It's kind of interesting, right? How to trade, pick a coin you like, buy and sell whatever you want on the bonding curve. Once the coin reaches 10,000 in liquidity, it gets deployed. Wait for your lockup period to pass, claim your tokens, continue trading on Vestige. I'm ready to become a rug ninja. Kind of weird that I wonder why they're blurred out. So we got some interesting ones. This one's really funny. I'm gonna pull this one up. So this one is called Next Gen's. Oh, for some reason the photos aren't lining up. This is Next Gen's Delivery Dirk. So I talked about this a while back. This Next Gen's project where people bought this NFT shoe and they were supposed to get an actual shoe for Christmas. Well, for whenever. They were supposed to get the actual physical shoe after buying this NFT shoe, and then all of a sudden, everyone they were just promising, and then they went quiet. The Discord went quiet. While I was reporting on this, I actually got kicked out of the Discord. I got blocked from the Discord, so I couldn't get on the Discord. Still can't, as far as I know. And if you're wondering what the Dirk is, Little Dirk, the musician rapper, was involved in this. He talked about it on the is it All In? No, not All In. That podcast that Schultz was making fun of, whichever one that was. Oh, I can't think of the. I don't know. They're the ones with the dad beer. Anyway, he was talking about it on a podcast, talking about how this thing was going to be great. He wanted to get into fashion and NFTs, and then they took all the money, and God knows what happened to him. And then one of the founders, was still like doing these like motivational things on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, how about you like actually deliver on your project first? Oh well, is that Fisherman? So people are buying these, and then you can actually buy it. You can swap in, you connect your wallet up here, and you want to buy some Dirks? How much is one? What does one algo do? One algo will get you 1.9. Gets you a lot of Dirk and apparently 0% of the supply. Oh, I don't think it matters. Oh, there you go. If you want 1% of 1,000 algo to get 1.9% of the supply. Well, that's interesting. I just and look, there's that typical ASA curve again. The upside down V that it makes. Kind of a V. Kind of a little like city tower or something. Huh. So that's one of them. There is Dora's Tacos is on here. And that one's like a 13% deployment. Maybe I should make my own coin on Daddy Tate. People who like Andrew Tate. Not many people bought that one. Just seeing if there's any other ones. Foundation grants. Huh. That's pretty funny. What's that picture of? I wish I could see these. Oh, here we go. Huh. That's kind of random. 1.1% of that out. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's pretty weird. With boobs. There's an Apple one. My mom has 4 apples. That's I don't even know how to start explaining that joke. Test, please ignore. There's a Jaws one. This is a Voy mainnet. This actually, I think this actually is the Voy one. Yeah, 15%. That one's actually chugging along. So I would say, I put this in like if you want to play around or you just want to launch your own coin for, I guess it's trying to like present a way to have these coins where they're not red hat mega. To have these coins where they can't be rugged. They seem to be kind of rug proofed. I'm curious to how that will actually turn out. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. Maybe I'll make my own coin, my own Frugal BC. I'll call them Frugals. So that's Rug Ninja. So I've spoken about, or we actually used it in our live stream experiment, or excuse me, our DeFi experiment that we did a while back. And Cometa it didn't do so well for us. Our best bet was Tiny Man, and usually having a stable involved. So, but Cometa has a new roadmap, so maybe we should take a look at that. Cometa updates huge TDR agenda. Start in 1 to 2 weeks. We're cooking the ultimate Algorand targeted DeFi rewards agenda, using the funds creatively and efficiently. Shortly, new huge meta LP pools with algo rewards, huge degen cross chains campaign with Farcaster, big algo rewards for all stable RWA LP farms on Cometa. More on the forum. Share your ideas. Blah blah blah. We can look at the forum if you want. Thanks for the trust, Algo fam. Your votes will make Algorand great again. Interesting that they're partnering up with Farcaster. I started looking at that. I got a little bit sick of Twitter. Now I'm kind of back on, but without the check mark. I actually find it better to use without the check mark. I have a lot of chats, so we'll get to those chats. Don't worry. But yeah, it seems like an interesting little roadmap. Here's the problem with targeted DeFi rewards. They don't seem to operate in a way where you can actually do the things that you need to do in DeFi, because if you're taking rewards, you kind of want to put them back in, right? But they don't let you do that. They if you take profits and put back in, apparently it kicks you off. I got kicked off of because I didn't take anything out. I was just adding to it, but apparently that was enough to kick me off of governance. So I just not been a very big fan. And Farcaster, I wasn't a big fan of Farcaster because you got to pay a fee. I get that it kind of keeps the spam out, but like, why am I paying you $5 and I don't even know how it works? I don't know if I like it. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. Let's see. We got some other stuff yet for Algorand. And I guess we're talking about roadmaps, so we should talk about Gora, which is a decentralized Oracle network. Let's take they got some news today. Let's take a look at this. Attention, Gora gang. Gora Network's updated roadmap for 2024 has been unveiled. It's packed with groundbreaking innovations, blockchain expansion, final deploy of Gora Oracle on Starknet and Base. That's kind of cool. Been hearing a lot about Base. I should maybe look into that more. Smart agents unleash the power of real-time data analysis and verifiable computations for custom DeFi experiences. Decentralized feature empowering Gora community with auto compound staking and full decentralized governance. I really like auto compounding. That sounds good. I might have to look more into that. Stay connected in our Telegram and Discord communities for all the news, and check our roadmap update at gora.io. Updated price feeds. Going to launch on Base. Wow, that makes me think of one thing. I don't know what that one thing is. New 24 roadmap is packed with incredible updates. Can't wait to see how the multi-chain expansion and smart agents transform the Gora ecosystem. Wow, Gora is so undervalued. These are verified, so we used to be able to get away with having fake followers comment on it. We exposed a couple of those, but here I don't think you can actually do that. Oh, someone's doing a space on rug.ninja. We might tune into that for a little bit, maybe. Maybe. Let's see what else we got. I promise we'll get to the chats in just a second. I just want to get through. Oh, that was it. Oh no, I have one more. So we talked about the price, but is this a good buying opportunity for Algorand? Well, someone has this person seems to think so. Algo presents one of the best buying opportunities in crypto right now. The first Fibonacci resistance level is 606% above the current price. Watch my latest video here. Should we watch this?
If you want to buy or trade any kind of 2-bit or Zoom X referral links in the description of this video, because both of these exchanges are right now offering huge deposit bonuses, so make sure to take advantage. So once again, if you're invested in Algorand or considering it, then make sure to watch this entire video, guys, because I will show you the latest big news related to Algorand, what is currently happening behind the scenes, and later on in this video I will show you the technicals and why I believe that Algorand presents one of the best buying opportunities in crypto right now. So let's start off here. The Algorand Foundation, alongside with RJX and Quantos Payments, has announced the first ever money market fund on the Algorand blockchain, and this news was announced on the 28th of June. And guys, this is...
Yeah, remember we covered this on the channel. I had a video, I think it was in one of my updates that I did on live stream. But yeah, it's good. It's a good piece of news for sure. But like this stuff just never seems to translate to actual price action. So I'm always like kind of skeptical of this stuff because like I don't know that it actually works out that way. Like people like to think it does, but I think it will in the long run. In the long run, I think this stuff is very, very good. I'm just not super convinced that in the short term this is going to make much difference. But let's move on.
Isn't just any fund. We're talking about a $3.8 billion money market fund issued by RJX. So Quantos Payments and RJX have integrated to enable the use of Euro electronic money on the RJX digital asset platform, and this integration facilitates instant settlement of transactions in the EURD fund market, eliminating the need for complex coding. So yeah, why is this all important? Well, as you might know, the world is right now moving towards tokenization and real world assets. So yeah, this news, in my opinion, positions Algorand as a leading blockchain for the tokenization of real-world assets and financial instruments. So yeah, with these kind of partnerships, Algorand is really setting itself up to be a key player in the future of digital finance. And as you might know, Algorand already made strides by tokenizing bonds for the Bank of Italy, and now they're moving forward with tokenized money market funds. So yeah, this is absolutely huge news, guys, for Algorand and also for us as Algorand investors. Or if
that happened a long time ago, and that did F all for price. It did nothing for price. Again, I think it's good. I think it's important, but we've seen it over and over where this stuff just doesn't impact the price anymore. That stuff is like, I think those days are over. People just don't get excited by these partnerships, even though they're really, really important. And that's what drives the prices to go up.
If you're potentially looking to potentially invest into Algorand. Let's also have a brief look here at CoinMarketCap before I dive into the technicals on TradingView. So we can see that Algorand, the all-time chart, is down by 95% from its previous all-time high, $3.15. And if we look at the yearly performance, then we can see that Algorand is up by almost 17% for the year, which isn't too bad, but it's definitely not something.
It's pretty low compared to a lot of the coins where they were at this time. And actually, he doesn't point it out, but that was because of a completely botched launch, which I don't know how much you should take that into account. Looking at all time is like, it's pretty rough because that botched launch had a difference. But most of us, let's be honest, we didn't buy at the launch. So, we're not really in the same place. So I don't know. I kind of get it. I understand where he's coming from, but yeah, I think you should pay more attention to how much it's up in like the last year. Oh, good. My dog just threw up.
Which is enough for us here in crypto. We want to see way more than that. If we look at the monthly performance, then we can see that Algorand is down by 20% for the month, and Algorand is up by 4% over the past 7 days. So yeah, from this perspective, Algorand could be a very good buy at the moment. You're definitely buying into fear. You're buying into an extremely low price right now. We can see that the market cap of Algorand is roughly $1.2 billion with 24-hour trading volume of 28 million.
Sorry, hold on a second. I got to clean up some dog vomit. Okay, we'll just let that. That's the joys of live TV, right?
million. So Algorand is not really popular right now, a volume to market cap ratio of 2.3%. We can see that the circulating supply is 81%, total and maximum supply roughly 10 billion Algorand tokens. So from this perspective, Algorand could be a great buy right now. Algorand is listed on all the bigger exchanges, Binance, Coinbase, so it's very easy accessible for retail. So looking at Algorand here on the weekly time frame, we can see that Algorand is down significantly from its previous all-time high from November 2021, roughly 96% according to this chart here on the Gate.io chart. Algorand currently trading at 14 cents, but something super interesting happened for Algorand in the past few months. I mean, if I sketch out the trend line from the previous all-time high and if I connect as many touch points as possible, then we can actually see that Algorand broke its downtrend. That is also one of the reasons why I believe that the bear market low for Algorand was actually already established in August 2023. And since then, we have seen a rally for Algorand. The price basically increased from roughly 8 cents all the way up here to 33 cents, which is a significant rally. And since then, we have seen a pullback for Algorand. Then the price is right now establishing a higher low compared to the low of the bear market. So in my personal opinion, guys, this right now could actually present maybe even the best buying opportunity for Algorand. I mean, you need to believe in its fundamentals, but if you do, then Algorand could right now present a very good buying opportunity, because I believe that Algorand will potentially set a new all-time high. Maybe not this year, maybe in 2025, but if we calculate the distance to the all-time high for Algorand from the current price, then we're also roughly talking about a 2700% of a multiplier, which is a 27x on your money. And this is, in my opinion, a really significant return. So yeah, the risk to reward.
That seems like a lot. I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, because crypto's kind of crazy, but that's a huge percentage to increase from this point. So we'll see.
Ratio right now for Algorand is absolutely phenomenal. The risk is fairly limited here, and the upside potential is absolutely astronomical. And that is also the reason why I've invested a lot into Algorand right now. I do believe that there is a very high probability that Algorand will perform really, really well in the coming years. So yeah, what is my target for 2024? So for this year, the rest of this year, let's actually calculate a Fibonacci retracement from the high point, the all-time high, to the bear market low point for Algorand. And you can actually see that, and maybe I have to switch over to the linear chart. I do believe that Algorand will test at least the 0.236 Fibonacci level, which is the first area of major resistance here on the.
By the way, did he not say that it didn't go below that level set before here? It's definitely below. It's definitely below that level. You can see when you have the actual straight line on there. You know, it actually dipped below that previous all-time low in 2020, or was he saying 2020, even 2023? So yeah, I don't know how convincing this is. I think this is a lot of I just don't have a lot of faith in technical analysis. I'm just not convinced that just because it popped up here before means it's going to again. And he's showing this like little spike up. Algorand was actually never that high. I never saw Algorand above $3. I don't know where that line is coming from. If it did, it was like a super flash in the pan. Really, it was around 2 something. So that kind of throws his numbers off completely.
The linear chart, and from our current position, we're talking about a potential move upwards for Algorand of approximately 614% from the current position. I do believe that there's a very high probability that Algorand will test this area, the 0.236 Fibonacci level. If you look at the left-hand side of the chart, then you can see a rejection point here in February 2022, also support here in February 2021, all the way towards, I would say, May 2021. So yeah, I do believe that this area will get tested for Algorand somewhere in the coming months, potentially in the rest of 2024. And if I switch back to the logarithmic chart, then you can actually see that the golden ratio, the 0.618 Fibonacci level, is exactly aligning with this exact area on the logarithmic chart. So yeah, in my personal opinion, guys, there's a very high probability that Algorand will rise significantly in the rest.
So I really think that I think that technical analysis is a way for people to sound really smart while they're making guesses. There's a very famous trader who thought the same thing, and I wish I could remember his name. It was a very smart mathematical genius, and he said the same thing. Like he's like there's been no proof given to me, and I still haven't seen proof. I've seen people have all kinds of technical analysis reasons for why Algorand is going to go up, and you know what it did? It went down. Or which you see more commonly, and he doesn't do this here, so I want to give him credit. But what a lot of them do is they say, well, if it hits this resistance line, then if it goes past this, then it could go up to here, and if it goes down below, it bounces off this resistance line, it could go down. So basically, you have a really complicated way of saying it could go up and down. Yeah, I'm just not very convinced by this, especially if you're using this really high number that I don't think, like, I never saw it actually hit that. Realistically, the price was, if it might have flashed up there really briefly, but that to me doesn't count. You know, the main range is that it was just a little above 2 was like 220, 224 is where you typically saw it around that time. And we were all very excited. We were all very excited. Our Algorand was suddenly worth a decent amount of money. So yeah, if that stuff's interesting. I'm just not terribly convinced. I'm still holding for a $2 to $3 target. I think what was he saying? Like $6 he was pointing at. I don't see that. I don't see Algorand hitting $6 this cycle. If I'm, you know what, if I'm wrong too, like that's great because what I can tell you is that we're definitely on the lows, and when the altcoin cycle kicks in, we're going to be going much higher. So that we know, and making guesses is just kind of silly, and people eat this stuff up. I get it. Sometimes it's tempting to be like, yeah, maybe I should just learn how to speak this language so I can sound smart too. But I would rather just look at historic levels and kind of guess where it's probably going to go, and more importantly, have a plan for the cycle. The cycle is all that matters. When you're in the bottom of the cycle, and we've been in the bottom of the cycle, it disturbs me a little that we've gone this far down with Algorand. People should be concerned about that, and we can look at historic price trends, and Algorand just hasn't matched the other coins. So I think that stuff matters more. But it's good to take this stuff in and look at and think about it a little bit. But I'm just technical analysis math. I'm just never very convinced by. All right, I promise you we'll get to the chat, and then I'm going to clean up some more. I got to do some more cleaning. Who's here? Well, a lot of people here. Okay. Jason Cowait says, sound like Logan Paul. Are you saying I sound like Logan Paul? That's wild. That's a first. Investors Earn says, yo, man, what are you up to? Where are you trading Algorand coins? Listen, I don't trade Algorand coins. I buy Algorand on Coinbase, and then I move it to my Para wallet, which is actually a number of wallets. I have it on DeFi as well. I used to have my Algo. And then I don't really trade after that. I just, I'm in Tiny Man, and you can see, yeah, I told you, Jesus, man. Yeah, well, I usually take breaks to read the chat. I don't read the chat continuously. Overfresh says, I don't think having a bunch of scam coins like ETH, Sol, AVAX, etc. is a good idea, though. I don't think ETH is a scam. I think it's old technology. Sol is kind of a scam. I don't know much about AVAX. I haven't seen anything about it being a scam. I just haven't been very interested in it. But Jason explains that Frugal checks the chat messages between segments he has planned. Yes, thank you, Jason. Overfresh, not a fan of Farcaster. Says, tried it, and it's just a bunch of ETH devs talking about nonsense. Jason says, right, until there is a demand for Algorand specifically and not the chain, the price will only increase through speculation. I pretty much agree with that. Overfresh says, hello, I have no hope for price action anymore, but I keep buying. So Algorand, the way I look at Algorand is it's something I use to actually participate in a crypto ecosystem, and it's really, really good for that. Overfresh says, poor doggo, mine is sick. Also, pet the dog, bro. I let her outside so she can take care of what she needs to, but she's a good dog. Jason says, one of the biggest reasons I buy Algorand is because they are trying to secure the chain from quantum attacks. Yeah, that's huge. So I think where price is going to matter is when this stuff really starts being integrated into all these various real world projects, which is we're starting to see the beginning of that. I think in 10 years, this stuff is going to matter. Is it going to be in exactly 10 years or maybe 5 years from now? I don't know. But I think by the time we get like 10 years down the road, I think crypto will have matured to where stuff like Algorand matters the most and the rest doesn't. Catlin Guzman says hello. Hello, Catlin. Welcome to the show. Overfresh says, I buy Algorand because it is the most advanced blockchain technology. Silvio created something better than Satoshi could have come up with. Agreed. And I think it's a really useful chain. I think Bitcoin has its uses as well. It's the king. It's the main thing. But Algorand is doing the stuff I think it ought to. Okay, Jason says, I have a lot of confidence in the team. I think consensus mechanism is fair and fast. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to consensus rewards in quarter 4. Jason says, no, the scam token. Were you talking about something? Was that related to ETH or something? All right. Okay, I gotta go do some cleaning. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Let's look at. I'll let you guys look at Rug Ninja for a while. Okay, I'm back. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh, you were talking about the little Dirk, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no one's ever accused me of looking like Logan Paul. So the funny thing is my nephew used to kind of look like when he was younger. He kind of had the Logan Paul look. He doesn't really look like that anymore, though. Well, actually, kind of, sort of does. I mean, the more like Midwestern version. Or apparently the GOP added pro crypto regulation to its agenda. I'm not American, but that's a pretty good move. Yeah, I've noticed that the Republicans have been pro crypto, which is pretty interesting. Let's see what we got here. Oh, shoot. Hold on. There's some stuff on here, this platform. I don't like the way it works. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do my next segment and then we'll get back to the chat. So just so you guys are aware. Yeah, so we're gonna talk some Hedera news today, and there's some very interesting stuff going on with Hedera, particularly around PAC. So we're gonna cover that piece of news first. Let's look at what's going on with PAC, which is a coin launched by Hashpack. This kind of started off, I learned this from Matteo HBAR. Am I following him? Yes, we're following each other. Okay. Said I never said HBAR or Dovu or BSL or H Suite are packs of beep. I said pack is a piece of beep. I feel those other projects have a use case. I've done my homework. I hold them and will continue to hold them. I have an issue with pack and the way it was marketed and how so many people were talking about how great it is and what it's going to do, blah, 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 get your NFTs, then sell everybody's liquidity. It was supposed to be something, then it isn't. I'm sorry if that makes anyone mad. I believe in the tech of Hedera, that's why I'm here, but pack, that's a bleep sandwich. BSL, someone says, and you're going to judge a project that's only a little, I think you meant a month old. It hasn't done much because it's still a new coin. Sounds to you sounds like you bought the hype and lost money, and there's no reason to be out here talking beep on coins that literally are trying to bring money to Hedera DeFi. I understand your frustration. And that's it. So I didn't know a lot about this, but I looked a little deeper. So I found this on BitCat, and it kind of explains what he's talking about. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Look familiar? Actually, let's go to the daily chart. Does this look familiar to anybody? A little more protracted than some of the ASAs, but that's pretty much that's pretty much the pattern we've come to expect from some of these ASAs. I don't actually know what Hedera calls their secondary tokens. Maybe I can look that up really quick. Hedera is a public name, blah, blah, blah. HTS is the service. So are they called HTSs? I don't think so. Ecosystem tokens. Yeah, I don't know if Algorand has Algorand standard assets, but I'm not sure about Hedera, what they actually call them. Fungible and non-fungible, but I don't know. Now I just really want to know. I want to know what they're actually called. Oh, I just want to see if what they asset tokenization. Well, they have security token offerings, but I don't think that's the same thing. Yeah, I guess we don't know what they're called, but yeah, this looks pretty much similar to Algorand ASAs, and the funny thing is, not all of them have done that. In fact, we can go to so this is one that's on Hedera. It's called Saucer Swap, or Sauce. Saucer Swap is a DeFi platform on Hedera, and the pack token has actually done pretty well. Not in the last month. It's actually fallen a lot, but yeah, at one point they were up to almost 22 cents. And even they had this little spike at 17 cents earlier, and was it still May? Nope, it was April, end of April. Even here it was around 12 cents. Now it's kind of falling back down. So I don't know if we're going to see a big pump up with Sauce, but it's one of the few that I've noticed other tokens on other non-Algorand platforms tend to actually do pretty well. So yeah, over a year, I mean, it's up 318% over a year. That's pretty good. So, so not all of them work the same way as Algorand, I guess, is my point. All right, let's see what else we got here on Hedera. There's a scam going around Hedera, so watch out for that. Okay, so this is from the Hedera subreddit. It says, do not connect any wallet to sweet-hedera.com. Despite coming from a marketing@hedera.com email with valid DKI signature, this email and the sweet-hedera.com site appear to be a scam. Yeah, these guys, they're not going to reach out. I've never gotten an email from, like, say, the Algorand Foundation or the Hedera Foundation saying, hey, check out this platform and connect. They're just not going to do that. That's not their role. And the reason they're not going to do that is because they're basically playing winners and picking winners and losers on their platform, and they need to remain neutral. So they're just not going to. They might shout them out on Twitter once in a while, but they're not going to like market you. They're going to send you an email saying to sign up for one of these. So if you ever get an email from like something that looks like an Algorand address or a Hedera address or a Sui Network one or Near or whatever, it's probably a scam. Make sure always to check it out. Do some research on it before you do anything. Don't connect, because these scams exist. Jcoins123 says, I'll also note that the mail has come from HubSpot, an email marketing platform, so it is likely Hedera's HubSpot account or an associated API has been compromised somehow. I haven't seen anything to indicate Hedera has been compromised at an organizational level. If they had, the scam probably would be cross-promoted or appear more legitimate. And there's no reason to think the Hedera itself has been compromised, of course. Yeah, I guess without seeing the actual email, it's hard to say, but I think it's probably just a good old-fashioned scam. You know, it's not really hard to make an email look like it came from an official company. People do that all the time. So blank show, marketing was blank. Now it's even worse. Enough guys. Well, it's not really. Trying to see if there's anything. Domain spoofing still can happen, but unless we see the email editor, this doesn't tell us anything. Also, I'd check your own email in case there's no phishing detection. Not phishing or spoofing. The mail has a valid DKIM signature. Hedera's HubSpot account was compromised. So they seem to believe that it absolutely was Hedera's, like it was actually from Hedera's email. I think without posting it, like marketing at Hedera, just, well, maybe they would have that address, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say without actually seeing the email, but you know, if you do see this, if you do get this, just ignore it. Maybe report it to Hedera even. All right, got one more little piece of Hedera news. And Algorand's actually involved in this as well. We have Hedera and Algorand being tested by the Swedish National or Central Bank. It's pretty interesting. It's nice that they used a Bitcoin logo above a bank. Yeah, that's what's. I've noticed that AI can spit out like Bitcoin and Ethereum now, but it can't spit out anything else. Which seems strange to me because all that stuff is available, right? So this one is on currency analytics. So let's look at the actual site. The world increasingly turns its attention to the potential of central bank digital currencies. Sweden's Riksbank is leading the charge by testing two prominent blockchain platforms, Algorand and Hedera, for its e-krona project. Krona is the currency for Sweden, if you didn't know that. This move marks a significant step in the journey toward a digital economy, aiming to enhance transaction efficiency while minimizing environmental impact. The drive towards CBDCs. Globally, 130 countries representing 98% of the global GDP are exploring the implementation of CBDCs. Of these, 64 countries are in advanced stages, with 11 already having started the digital currencies. Notably, China's extensive pilot program has reached approximately 260 million people, highlighting the growing momentum behind CBDC initiatives. Sweden, known for its progressive stance on technology, is now focusing on the e-krona, a digital version of its national currency. The Riksbank's research paper titled Potential Climate Change of Retail CBDC Models delves into the potential environmental impacts of different CBDC designs using Algorand and Hedera as test models. That's really, really interesting because I think this is interesting having them side by side because I'm really curious like what is going to happen, what the differences will be between the two, which one seems to work better. So they're exploring three e-krona models. The e-krona project is being designed with three distinct models: a highly decentralized design, semi-decentralized design, and a decentralized design. And you can imagine that I'm in favor of this one, or maybe this one. Definitely not this one. Let's see. Each model has unique characteristics, implementations for efficiency, security, and environmental impact. So the semi-centralized design is with Hedera. So Hedera, a private permissionless network, has chosen to represent the semi-centralized design. In this model, the network is limited to a small number of trusted actors, reducing the risk of external attacks Hedera's gatekeeping strategy ensures that only vetted participants can join the network, enhancing security and stability. Give me 1 second. Got to bring Doggy in. Come on, Doggy. Yep, come on. Come on. Come on. Evan, come on. Hey, come on. Oh, let's stay outside. She wants to be difficult, I guess. Hedera is known for its high transaction throughput, currently supporting 48 transactions per second with a maximum potential of 10,000. You gotta be kidding me. 10,000 TPS with efficiency is paired. This efficiency is paired with a remarkably low electricity consumption per transaction, estimated between 0.00002 and 0.00004 kilowatts, according to Platt et al. 2021. We'll get to Algorand in just a second. Come on. Yeah, come on. Let's go. Good girl. Good girl. Fun times. Okay. All right. Algorand's version. Decentralized design with Algorand. For the decentralized design, Riksbank turned to Algorand, a permissioned network where participating actors are licensed financial institutions. This model aims to enhance resilience through decentralization with multiple nodes maintaining the system. Algorand supports a high TPS rate as well, currently achieving 9.85 TPS. Oh, come on. With maximal sustainable throughput of 1,000. Actually, it's way more than that. Yeah, in fact, I don't know where they get 9.85 from. I haven't seen it that low in a long time. That's crazy. I think Hedera is higher than 48 too, isn't it? Anyway, Algorand supports a high TP. Okay, and there's also very low 0.00017 to 0.0534 kilowatt hours. So yeah, and we've people have talked about this before. You know, Hedera does have a less environmental impact per transaction than even Algorand, but it also tends to do more. So I don't know if that's always a fair comparison, because there's like two layers to there's the consensus and the actual transaction, as I recall. So so the future of digital currency in Sweden. Sweden's exploration of Algorand and Hedera for its e-krona project is a significant milestone in the global movement toward digital currencies. By rigorously testing these platforms, Riksbank is not only paving the way for digital economy, but also setting a benchmark for environmental responsibility in financial technology. As of now, Algorand is trading at 13 cents, which is pretty close to what we saw earlier. And Hedera is about a little under 7 cents. So these figures indicate that the market's responsive to ongoing developments and potential future impact of their. Wait, what was it saying? These figures indicate the market's responsiveness to outgoing developments and the potential future impact of their integrations into national digital currencies. Like, what are you talking about? they're going down, not up. We've seen the opposite. We just talked about, when we were talking about Algorand news, how like this stuff just doesn't move. It doesn't move the market. They're not sensitive. It's actually quite the opposite, which is one of my biggest frustrations. I wish it was that way, but it's not. This is crazy. Like, who writes these? Some guy in South Africa. Huh. Okay. Riksbank's initiative to test Algorand Hedera for e-krona. You know, it's just like, it's almost like a press release, you know. I just wish people wrote a little more, you know, like actual journalists. But if this is to be believed, it looks like Bitcoin crossed back over to 57,000, so that's nice. Anyway, that's our Hedera news for today. We got a very lively chat, so let's go back to. Let me find the. Oh, wait, here we go. Jason says, Frugal, is there any chance you can work with one of the tax companies for an interview going over self-custody and 2025 crypto tax changes? Yeah. I tell you, this is a really difficult field because I spoke about this with John from NFT, and he knows a lot about the tax side of it. It's really hard to find a tax expert who actually really understands crypto, and that might have changed a little bit recently, but I'm not sure yet. The way I do it, I mostly just whatever goes through Coinbase, I just take my report from there and I give it to the government and I consider it good enough. And I that's why I don't talk a lot about taxes, because am I doing it right? Probably not. If I'm being honest, I am probably not doing it correctly. But I think the numbers are, I think the IRS sees, okay, he's paying something, so he's not hiding his crypto. I think that's good enough. Black says you should look into ICP. It's the best technology in crypto. I did do a video on, I've looked into ICP a little bit. We did a video on, we kind of reacted to a video comparing Algorand to ICP, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. Oververse says, LOL, ICP is just a trade. It's in the name. Jason says, ICP is good. I like it too. However, I have concerns over the scalability. Black says, and by the way, welcome to the show, Black. I haven't seen you before, so welcome. Says, I own Algorand, HBAR, Render, XRP, XLM, Near, IOTA, and ICP, and out of all of them, ICP wins once you do your own research. Jason says, I think you've listened to too much of that ICP Maxi. Jerry. Which actually, Jerry's the one I reacted to recently. Let's see. Overfresh says, yep, if you fail to see what Algorand has achieved, you are just blind. You can criticize price action and the foundation, but blockchain is the marvel of technology. Yeah, that's pretty much my stance. I think they have done amazing stuff. I think the technology is great, as I also think that of Hedera. And I think Algorand's been longer, so they've been around longer. So I think they've been achieved more of these integrations. But yeah, it just hasn't had much impact on the price. And I think we're just not really seeing much of that these days. Where the last one I can remember is when the BlackRock news came out with Hedera, and people got kind of mad about that. Black says, true, diversification is key. To be honest, Algorand my biggest, but it's a good portion of my portfolio. Yeah. So there's a principle in investing if you're doing like individual assets and not like an index fund, which by the way, I'm going to give my little shout out to how I think everyone should own some index funds, and it should be building that on the side while you're doing your crypto. Most crypto people think I'm nuts, but I'll tell you, it's just nice to have that in the background. But if you're going to do individual assets, there's a rule where when you get to about 12 assets, you achieve the most de-risking. You have the lowest level of risk per, and after 12, after 12, 15, you just really don't gain that much from diversification. So I think people going all in on one crypto that's wild. And I definitely think you should diversify. Let's see if there's anything. Black says, Algorand, these prices are a steal, and same goes for a lot of alts. Yeah, I think so. Compared to what we're going to see in the bull, when the second much bigger bull run kicks in. So Overfresh is saying this black fellow is a obvious ICP maxi shill. I don't think so. He just said that he owns like a ton of other crypto. So I don't think that's true, actually. Overfresh says, gotta go. It's 2 a.m. in Europa. Well, hey, appreciate you watching. 1 a.m. for me, so I don't know where black is, but you guys are all in Europe, eh? Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Jason says, ICP requires a redundancy of information in order to validate transactions since nodes are random. With that redundancy and more applications and transactions, the amount of data would be ludicrous. One thing I like about ICP is they have that ability to use WebAssembly to use a variety of languages on their platform. I've told that's not as good as Algorand's pure Python. But I wonder if that's made a difference. Maybe we should look at that. Let me take a look. Oops. I just wanted to see if I can find assets, blocks, applications, DeFi network. I just thought it'd be cool if we could see if more people had come to Algorand since Python went live. I don't think it's going to be in here. Actions, DApp activity. So DApp activity has gone down. Dude. I'm just trying to see. There's got to be something. Okay, hold on. Maybe network. I'm just trying to see if they have research. There's under research, governance, key developments. Can't see that anywhere, apparently. I wonder if I put nope. Screener Intel. Governance research. Be a better way. You know what? Actually, hold on. Monthly active developers. It only goes through January, unfortunately. I think Python launched in like February or April, so that really doesn't help me, but we were seeing kind of a downtrend according to this. I just wonder why they don't go. Shoot. That was a year ago, so that's not going to help us. It's just open source. You know, I know it exists too because I've seen it before. This is frustrating. I know I can find it. Active developers. Maybe if I go by month. Nope, that's the same thing. Shoot. Maybe this will lead us to one. Electro Capital, that's the same one. I don't think they have Algorand on here anyway. Oh, here was Algorand, but this is. That doesn't really tell me anything either. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I really hoped I could find, yeah, this is the same thing. I've been here. This one was all of them, and the other one was Algorand. Why isn't it up to date? So I wonder if this shut down or what. All right. Well, we tried. That's something I was really curious about. Well, I think I'm going to save the Sui news for a video later in the week. I'm starting to kind of run out of steam. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you do so. Thanks to everyone who subscribed so far and got us over that 4,100 subscriber line. Super happy about that. And shout out to everyone on Kick, by the way. I should look. I just want to see if people are watching on Kick. Well, at least one viewer. So hello, viewer, and hit the follow button if you don't mind. Leave a comment too if you like. Appreciate that. Otherwise, also we have, if you want to get videos early, we have memberships starting at $1. You can actually get videos before anyone else that we put out, and it's pretty cheap. Probably won't even think about it. It's less than a cup of coffee. Not many things you can get for $1 these days, but you can get you can join our community, and I'm going to be adding Discord to that pretty soon, so check that out as well. Once again, I want to shout out non-fungible domains. If you want that .algo address, that's the way to do it. Otherwise, I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.